This is Newcap News with Nicole Stilger.
And a single vehicle collision to tell you about today here in Lloydminster involving a lamp post. This was the scene just after 10 this morning on 50th Ave near 42nd Street. This vehicle struck a wooden light pole. The pole then fell on the vehicle. RCMP contacted ATCO to ensure the safety of the vehicle and the people. Police say there were no injuries. Well, the Alberta legislature has wrapped for the year, but not before Vermilion Lloydminster MLA Dr. Richard Starkey rose to question 3 cabinet ministers on the carbon levy's impact on the border city.
Now, for decades, the Saskatchewan government has foregone collection of the provincial sales tax from businesses on the east side of Lloydminster so that they can compete on an equal playing field with those on the Alberta side, but coming soon, the NDP carbon levy. To the Minister of Finance, did your department give any consideration of the inequities that your carbon tax will create in Lloydminster?
So we believe that we still have a really great Alberta tax advantage. Lloydminsterites, Lloydminsterans, people from Lloydminster will continue to enjoy that tax advantage like the rest of Alberta because this is the lowest tax jurisdiction in the country.
CC says Alberta has a $7.5 billion tax advantage over other provinces. Starkey went on to question the ministers on the long wait after meetings were held with local officials and the concern local fuel dealers have with losing business to stations on the other side of 50th Avenue. Following the question, Minister of Economic Development and Trade Darren Billis pointed out a federal carbon tax is coming and will have to be implemented on the Saskatchewan side of Lloydminster. And the City of Lloydminster's travel expense policy has been given a rewrite, changing to a per diem system for city employees, while councillors and senior administration will have to submit receipts. Prior to the policy's introduction in November, the city had no policies or limits for travel expenses. Lodging rules would cover the entire cost, while all meals will be set at $17. But during Monday's meeting, City Council decided to increase the per diem rate for mileage from 50 cents to 54 cents per kilometre.
So that mileage is paid based on, and in this case we went with the CRA rates. One of the things that we did was, as you can see, we lowered the meal allowance to meet the CRA rates. So if we paid any more than 54 cents, there would be a taxable benefit for the individuals, but that's the number and it's an industry standard.
The new rules also state senior administration and city council will have to fill out monthly travel reports, which will be posted on the city's website. Volunteers are taking a break today after spending 12 hours behind bars to raise awareness and support for the SPCA. This year, the Jail and Bail fundraiser had more than 30 community members caged in with the animals. Brian Lentz has more.
Jowls, you big jowls.
Between the inmates, more than $25,000 was raised for the SPCA. That is up by close to $4,000 from the year before. For the shelter, Jail and Bail has become an important fundraiser to maintain operations.
This is generally our second largest next to our SPCA dinner theater, so it's always very popular. Like I said, the response this year, and this is the highest number of inmates that we've had coming in this year. So for us, it's just amazing to see, and everyone's having a great time.
The funds raised will go directly towards caring for pets at the SPCA.
Helping with spay-neuter, helping providing the vaccines, foods, just general care. And that's so important because that is really one of our largest expenses is just providing the care and those services to the animals.
For the inmates, the reason to lock themselves in with a pet for hours on end is a simple one.
Well, it's a cause that's dear to my heart. I've had cats my entire life. In fact, the 2 that I've had in the past few years both came from street cat rescue programs. So I just thought this was a way I could lend an aid and hopefully helps raise some money for the SPCA.
I feel like they just have lived hard lives, and they should get a better chance at a life. So that's what the SPCA does. They take in everything that they can, and they help everything they can. Like, look at him. He's only 10 months old, and he was found on the side of the road. Like, it's such a sin.
Brian Lentz, Newcap News.
Well, shopping is heating up in Lloydminster with people taking care of every last holiday detail. While the economy has caused sales to dip for most stores, there's still a steady stream of customers who've started preparing for Christmas earlier than normal. Josh Ryan has more.
Lloyd Mall is bustling again as the Christmas shopping rush is in full swing. This is a good sign for businesses heading into the new year, as once again sales have been affected by the economic downturn in the area, both during and after Christmas trade shows.
When there's like craft fairs and things like that, the business in the mall will slow down a bit for whenever those sorts of events are going on, just because, you know, it's the hot commodities.
You can tell that some families are not spending as much money on things necessarily as spending time with their families.
However, people have been coming in to make holiday purchases for almost 2 months, making the Christmas season last a little longer than normal.
We actually started our Christmas season probably the 1st of November. And people are spreading out, you know, their items, you know, from so that they're not having to buy a lot at the end. It's a win-win situation. It's a win for us because we're moving product, and it's a good deal for them.
Newcap says it's people adjusting to stricter budgets.
That has put a crunch on some of their spending, but they're spending wisely this year.
This means more customers buying in bulk and looking for discounts.
People are definitely stocking up. So like when we have deals that are going on today, you notice that a bag gets filled with whatever the cheapest item is.
There's also less people coming in with credit cards.
There's a lot of debit, a lot of cash. So to me, that means that people don't want to have that big Visa bill at the end of the Christmas season.
And an increase in general positivity has mall stores more optimistic for the new year.
They're not holding back as much as they did last year, because last year a lot of people, it was their first time perhaps on UIC, and they just didn't know which way it was going to go. But this year, I see a lot more smiles, and people seem to be more relaxed.
Josh Ryan, Newcap News.
Well, Table Mountain opens to the public today, and the second annual Parade of Lights is slated for this upcoming Thursday. Brian Lentz has the details in this week's What's Happening.
Hello, I'm Brian Lentz, filling in for Heather Klagas, who is going home for the week. Unfortunately, that means she's going to miss out on some excellent opportunities, such as Table Mountain opening up today, now that the weather is cold enough and the snow is sticking around. They've also been hard at work to make sure all their runs are open for anyone of all sorts of age groups or skill levels. And if night skiing is your thing, they've got night skiing opening up on January 6th, so be sure to check that out. Well, the nights are getting longer in the city, and that means that there's even more time for us to see the Parade of Lights coming up on this Thursday. You'll see all sorts of different vehicles right here downtown, decked to the nines in all sorts of lights. And following that, there'll be some free hot chocolate and activities at the exhibition grounds. You can still get your vehicle in. It's not too late. Monday is the cutoff to submit an application. Well, just like we're listening right now to some Christmas music, you too can enjoy all of your favorite Christmas songs, as we have a mega pack giveaway of all sorts of different tunes with your favorite Christmas songs from all sorts of bands like Rascal Flatts, Neil Diamond, Sarah McLachlan, Casey Musgraves, Jennifer Nettles, and Jordan Smith. We'd like to thank John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with music. And if you would like to have these tunes, be sure to mail us your name and daytime number at tvcontest@newcap.ca. Well, if you like to get dressed up over the holidays, then stop by the Marwayne Christmas Gala happening at the Marwayne Community Hall this Saturday. They'll have some live entertainment from the Dirt Rich Band, and also leave your kids at home as it's an adult-only event. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a good one. I'm Brian Lentz, and this is What's Happening.
Well, the World Junior A Challenge brings in talent from all over the world. In the past, the tournament has had remarkable success when it comes to sending players to the NCAA and NHL level. Bailey Nitty shows us how one player on Team Canada West has serious potential when it comes to making it to the big show.
For players who traveled to Bonnyville for this year's tournament, the main goal is to get scouted by NCAA and NHL scouts. Cale McCarr, captain of Canada West and defenseman on AJHL's Brooks Bandits, is one of many players already committed to an NCAA school, but it doesn't stop there.
There's lots of motivation. I want to show well. Obviously, this is my NHL draft year and stuff, but to look past the individual stuff, it's awesome to be in such a great Hockey Canada jersey and to get the experience.
Makar's next goal is to get drafted to the NHL. The Canadian Junior Hockey League and the tournament itself has played a major part in getting players to that next level.
We've been very blessed over the years to have some of the players like Cale Makar make that decision. Tyson Joseph's one of them, Kyle Turris, Cam Talbot, just to name some players that have been through the CJHL. And through this event itself, not only draft choices that have come out of the two Canadian teams, but certainly off the European teams as well.
It has been said that Makar is a player that will most likely be drafted in the first round of the 2017 NHL Draft. For a second-year AJHL defenseman, that opportunity doesn't happen very often.
We're going to see bigger and better things, and these are opportunities for him to show really the hockey world. You look at the NHL scouts that are out here watching him this weekend, to show him that this kid is capable of great things.
On top of being an extremely skilled hockey player, Makar's character and self-composure has proven to be above all else as he was chosen to wear the C.
I'm a guy that doesn't believe you need a letter to be a leader, but at the same time I think it's very humbling and it's pretty cool to be recognized as one of those individuals as a key leader on the team.
Makar will finish his year with the Brooks Bandits of the AJHL and will start his college career at UMass Amherst next season. Bailey Nitty, Newcap Sports.
Well, for colleges, recruiting athletes can be one of the more daunting tasks, yet it's critical to athletic success. One Alberta school seems to have figured out what it takes to bring in top talent, and it's right in our backyard. For years, Lakeland College has been at the top of its recruiting game, and it shows. The school has brought in talented athletes from all over North America and beyond, and athletic director Alan Rogan shed some light on what makes Lakeland's recruitment process so successful.
That goes right back to our coaches. Our coaches are passionate about their programs. They want to see success. They'll do recruitment trips down to the States if they have a few kids they see that want to come. They will contact student athletes through email that they hear about down in the States or in other countries, and try to get them to come to Lakeland College. As you said, Lakeland, Lloydminster, Vermilion, they're smaller communities, they're not the big cities of the world like Edmonton and Calgary, so our coaches have to work a fair bit harder than a lot of other coaches to recruit student athletes to come here. But once they get here, they love the community, they love the college.
The Rustlers women's basketball team left for Cuba this past Wednesday, and it's trips like this that bring Lakeland to the forefront of an athlete's mind when making a decision on what school to attend.
Well, most people want to go somewhere warm, so when I tell them we're going to Cuba, everyone kind of gives you the, oh, really? But if we keep doing a trip like this and make it a continual thing, kids know that, if you play 5 years, you're going to get to go on 2 trips that maybe you didn't otherwise get to go on. So the part of the privilege of playing for sports at Lakeland.
During the trip, Lakeland plays 4 games and has 4 practices before being given the opportunity to work in a soup kitchen as part of a humanitarian effort.